Hello, greetings from Booneri. Today's topic is based on the history of the movie titled Toilet Ek Prem Katha. Was this movie a true story? Watch ahead. This is the movie Toilet Ek Prem Katha. This movie was released in 2017. Some of us might have watched the movie Toilet Ek Prem Katha. Who were the actors in this movie? It had Akshay Kumar, who is signed like this, and Bhumi Pednekar in pivotal roles. The movie was based on a true story. Let me give you a gist of it. Each of us have a toilet within our houses, or sometimes we have a toilet just outside and near to our home, right? But in some places, people don't have access to toilets neither in their house nor outside their homes. So where do they defecate? People go out to the far off fields. This is still prevalent in rural areas. We might consider this as a major issue of open defecation or a suffering, but for some, this is just acceptable. Why? Because this has to do with their age-old beliefs and traditions. Some state that the concept of having a toilet within the house is just not acceptable because some believe that any contact with excreta would defile their house, which is also where they worship. This is still prevalent in some parts, especially in the rural areas. And this movie of Akshay Kumar and Bhumi Pednekar portrayed this grim picture. Well, the storyline of this movie was connected to Prime Minister Modi's Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which is an initiative to make India clean. In fact, after the release of this movie, the government of the state Uttar Pradesh even declared the movie as tax-free. What does that mean? For example, if a movie ticket costs $100, usually an addition of 15 or 20 bucks would be as a tax. But the UP government has waived off the tax. So people could buy the movie tickets at cheaper rates, and this would help raise awareness among all about cleanliness and hygiene and the importance of sanitization. But do you know how did this storyline come into existence? This movie was actually based on the real life events of some women and their struggles, depicting their stories. Do you know who they are? Take a look. In the film Toilet Ek Prem Katha, after you've watched the whole movie, just before the end credits, it mentions that it is based on the story of a woman named Anita Narre. According to some newspaper reports, Anita Narre was married into a family hailing from a village in Madhya Pradesh. Once at the husband's home, she realized that they do not have a toilet at home and they defecate in the open. It took her 2 days to make up her mind, muster her courage, and leave her husband's house. She had laid her condition loud and clear that she would return only when a toilet was built in the house. When her husband did build a toilet in the house just for her, she returned to her husband's house. She showed immense courage to do so and stuck to her decision to return only if she had access to a toilet. Anita was later felicitated by the then President of India, Pratibha Patil, in 2012 for this bold move. This story of not having proper hygiene and sanitization facilities resulting in hampering relationships is not just about Anita but many such women who have faced similar problems, who got married and then saw that this practice was still being followed. Another woman was Pooja Devi. She too had to adjust in a household where they used to defecate out in the open. She repeatedly kept telling her husband and in-laws, but her pleas were always ignored. According to a newspaper report in 2014, Pooja left her husband's house when her repeated demands to build a toilet was ignored. She waited, but after 6 months, she decided it was better that she stayed at her parents' house and would be back only if a toilet was built. That's so demeaning to the basic rights of women. What's your take on this matter? Should an access to a toilet be of primary concern? Watch ahead. Did you all know that the United Nations has made an official declaration about what? The World Toilet Day. When? On November 19th. This day of 19th November is observed globally to raise awareness about safety and hygiene. Worldwide, there are about 4.2 billion people who are still living without access to safely managed sanitization. Hence, this day serves the purpose of raising awareness among all for use of toilets and maintenance of hygiene. Every year, this day is taken into consideration, keeping this fact in mind. Recently, in the year 2017, on November 19, on the World Toilet Day, Bhumi Pednekar, the lead actress of the movie Toilet Ek Prem Katha, went to meet the woman Anita Narre at her house on whose life story the movie was based. After her interaction with Anita, Bhumi could empathize with her suffering. With that, Bhumi wrote on her Twitter account that the problem of open defecation is a lot more than bad hygiene. It is a threat to a woman's security, her dignity, and her health. Hence, it is a must to provide access to clean toilet facilities for all that will not just ensure a person's dignity but also maintain hygienic conditions. Anita Narre showed courage by taking a bold step, demanding the need for a toilet, and truly started a movement that deserves appreciation. The Indian government has started an initiative under the scheme IHL. This is for the construction of individual household latrines, which provides an incentive to those below poverty line and who can't afford to access toilet facilities. Due to this obstacle, some are compelled to defecate in the open. Hence, the government aims to help in this regard and is doing this in order to ensure sanitization facilities in rural areas with the broader goal to eradicate the practice of open defecation among each household, thus making India a clean country. If we know of any such people or places where open defecation is still prevalent, then we must raise awareness, as each one of us can do our part in making India clean and also the welfare of the entire world.